Okay, so yes, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to each one of you for being a part of today's Power BI webinar. I am equally excited the way you are to understand the trends of Power BI, what is happening currently in the data analytics and the BI field. So, with this excitement, I would like to share how Power BI can transform your relationship with data. Because nowadays, data is the buzz. Everywhere you go, you have the term data. Now, with that, in the session of like 45 to 1 minutes, we are going to see how we can get more acquainted with the term Power BI and data analytics, which I'm very much sure all those who have been in this session, everybody is aware what is data analytics, what is Power BI, how it is booming. But then let's take this opportunity to understand in next 45 minutes to 1 hour how we can understand that how the raw data can be converted into smart business decisions. Along with that, we will also try to see how this session can be interactive, where we will be giving you some opportunities to put your questions in the chat box. Later on, once my part is done of delivering this session, you can always come and ask your questions so that we can again help you with a couple of questions and then the answers. Now, again, with the end of the session, you will understand like data is not just a burden. Everywhere we have the raw data, we have the dirtiest data. But then this data looks like a burden. But then when we have tools like Power BI, Tableau, and ClickView in the market, things get competitive, no doubt. So we do have a competitive advantage of working with this modern analytical tool. Now, when I say modern analytical tool, that ultimately means I'm referring to Power BI, the top tool. Second is Tableau, and then comes your ClickView. So we have total 25 reporting tool in the BI industry. I'll just repeat my word. We have total of 25 reporting tool in the BI industry. Out of that, whenever we talk about modern business analytical tool, so in this modern analytical tool, it stands Power BI at the first position, then Tableau, and then comes the ClickView. So with this, we are going to start the journey of this webinar, just clearing few of the questions and the confusion, how the data can be made driven, how the data can help you to build the confidence of your result, the confidence of your solution in terms of dashboards and report. So I would request Manish, we can just move to the next slide where we can help the audience to go little deeper into the next portion. Now, yes, we can just be stable here. Now, when it says why Power BI, I'm sure everybody knows why Power BI, why we are moving from Excel and Hadoop, or let's say the traditional reporting tool. But just to answer few of the challenges which traditional reporting tool had, the traditional reporting tool, basically they are slow. If I come to the very first point, yes, they are slow, they take time. Clients do not have that much of complete deliverable sections where they can wait for 6 months and 1 year. With Power BI, with your proper understanding of the data, working with the pain points of the data, you can make things much, much better. So I would request Manish, if you can just bring up all the points one by one. So the very first point, we have slow processing. Yes, the traditional tools are very slow. I'm not saying they're not used. They are still used by many 500 Fortune companies. They are very much used by some startup companies. But when we are expecting to deliver better, faster, just keeping in mind the productivity, just keeping in mind the client is not waiting for months and months so that your data is ready. In that case, we move to tools from traditional to your advanced tool, that is your Power BI. Slow processing for traditional tool. Then we have lack of insight. Yes, many times what happens is when we go with traditional reporting, processes are often manual. The very step first, why do we move to modern tool? So let me paint a picture for many of you who think like my daily work is happening. My daily work is happening, but it is slow. So in that cases, we need to move from traditional reporting where your processing are very slow. When I say slow, they are mostly manual. And when they are manual, it is definitely taking hours or even days to complete the task. So in this processing, which needs to be, let's say, fragmented across different segments, creating different data silos in your organization, we move from manual processing, and again, we try to come out of the errors. So we are prone to errors when we do a lot of manual processing. So with this experiences, we may have a lot of embarrassment when we do a demo presentation, which is happening more into manual features. So I personally have experienced like this. We are prone to incorrect data, errors. We are prone to have the data which is not up to the mark. We are not meeting the deadline. So this significantly leads to delay in accessing critical business information when you need it the most. When the client is demanding, we are just stepping it back. With this significant delays of manual errors or manual feeding the data. Now, without this ununified, or let's say real-time inside business struggle, what happens is we need to have informed decision. Now, when we say informed decision, we come to the tools like modern reporting tool. Since we are focusing on Power BI, I would say Power BI, and Power BI is again a tool which is self-service analytics. So self-service analytics means you can still learn the tool, you can get your hands dirty, and you can start converting your very raw data into actionable intelligence. So that is what I want to highlight. Can we just go to the point of empowerment here? The third point, which says empowerment. So yes, empowerment basically means it is fostering a data-driven culture across the entire organization. Even now we have your Power BI into banking sector, healthcare. Even we are teaching Power BI to university level students. So that is how a data-driven culture and a data-driven decision is not only required for organization level, but everywhere we are still using this application to make your things faster with a greater productivity. So this would be the question basically. So the question isn't whether you can afford to implement Power BI. It is whether you can afford not to work with Power BI. I'll repeat my question. So it's like the question is not about whether you can afford to implement Power BI. The question is, it's whether you can afford not to work with Power BI. So I hope everybody have the questions. We want to go with Power BI because not only because it's trending, it's friendly. You don't need a lot of hand holding of databases, or you don't need a lot of advanced knowledge of Excel. Then you can learn Power BI. No, with Tableau, I would definitely say a lot of database knowledge, a lot of Excel formulas is required. But with Power BI, you can seamlessly start learning, and that is how the journey begins. Now, with this, I would request to move to the third slide. So the third slide says, why Power BI? That means transforming data into business value. We know we are moving with Power BI, but are we going to get the right output? Something which we are striving for, something which we are making our clients very assured. No, this is the tool you should go for. But before we go and do a commitment with ourselves, with our client, are we really getting the output which we want to deliver? Yes, Power BI would give you some output in terms of business value, where the transformations can be done. Also, the decisions can be made faster for your future in the present. So let me bring up one point here. There are almost like 25 lakhs companies, or you can say organization worldwide, who are not just working with numbers. They always want to see visualization. When they are working with numbers, it is one case, but then validation of that number is again difficult. So that is how there are almost 25 lakh plus trusted organization worldwide who have adopted Power BI along with Excel. Excel is happening, right? Tableau is happening, ClickView is happening, but they are transitioning their employees and their entire nutshell to move to a better tool which have monthly updates. Yes, just to add up a point here, Power BI has a monthly update. Every month you have some or the other feature coming up. We also have a very good AI connectivity, that is Copilot with Excel, and we have Copilot with your Power BI also. That is the emerging technicality where we may not go a very higher, but yes, at the initial level, understanding Power BI, the capability, how it works should be fine. Gradually, once you are done with the entire hands-on, 2-3 projects are done, portfolio is done, then we can jump and deep dive how Power BI can be connected together, how Power BI can be streamlined with your AI capabilities. So with this, we can move to next point. After your global adoption, we should be having real-time insights. And I think we can also bring up the third point, which would be saying empowering teams. Yes, so this point I would just would like to highlight it more. So yes, as I mentioned, organizations have chosen and they are still deciding to choose Power BI. Reason one, they are robust analytics. They can deliver real-time business really quick. But definitely we have the dirtiest data. There has to be somebody who is cleaning the data, bringing the transformation, checking with the client, are we on the right path? This is what we are going to present in terms of Power BI report. So we need to have that real delivery business result to check, are we on the right path? Then coming to more point of real-time insights, Power BI enables real-time interactive data visualization for faster decision making. Yes, you have life. If I just bring up one example here, let's say if you go to Myntra, if you go to, let's say, Amazon or any website. So we have this Diwali sale, we have this big billion sale. So we go and try to get what I really want to purchase. So that website is purely ready for you. Just you need to pick up, for example, I want to go and purchase a laptop. There's a big billion sale coming up. The entire forum, entire e-commerce websites are ready for me to go and deep dive, get my information hands-on. I'll go to technology, I'll go to laptop. Let's say I want to have an Apple laptop and then the series of Apple laptop. So that is what it is, how much it is, it is all updated, ready for you to use. Similarly, when we create Power BI reports and let's say we create some Power BI interfaces, they enable real-time updates. Yes, if any of the laptop stock is not available, immediately the database will be capturing those information and that database would be highlighting it on your Amazon, Myntra or any e-commerce website. You're not allowed to buy this because it is out of stock. Let me help you by reminding once the stock is ready. So that is how the way you take real-time decisions on those websites, Power BI will enable those real-time decisions, interactive data visualization. Yes, the way you go and select anything on the website, let's say Infosys website or Accenture, they're all updated. So that is the way clients are more striving towards your interactive visualization where they are not static. We can add filters, we can add some interactivity, advanced interactivity, so that the people and the audience can make faster decisions for their future, for their marketing strategies. And similarly, what we all follow in companies, we follow the agile responses across department. Now, when I say empowering teams, how do you empower? Even the team needs to get ready of not only doing manual work. So you always foster the means of agile responses across department. Now, when I say across department, yes, from finance to operation to marketing, we are fostering to have agile so that whatever you're doing, you're going and checking with the client. Is this expected? Do we need to incorporate something? Because results are driven faster with Power BI. So when the results are driven faster, we can follow the agile methodology. Now, similar to agile, we have something like SDLC. That is software development lifecycle, where we have an entire process, a very traditional way of working. So where we cannot connect to the client regularly, the process has to be followed. Now, since we have tools like Power BI, where we are following processes, but then things are happening gradually faster. So that directly proportional, Power BI is calling you to have more agile responses where you can do your work, foster to the client, get the feedback and incorporate, which is not the case with SDLC. So as I mentioned, this can be empowered by finance, marketing, let's say operation teams for intuitive self-service analytics. Along with that, this can dramatically reduce the reliance on IT departments, freeing up the resources for strategic initiatives. A lot of things can be done. So many teams can come together. They can put up their question without waiting for weeks for the custom reports. When many ad hoc reports, ad hoc questions can be incorporated with tools like Power BI. So you don't need to always wait for somebody giving you a code or let's say giving you a big formulas and get the answer. No, with Power BI, teams can answer their own questions without waiting for a long duration. When I say long, I'm being like weeks of time is not required. You can quickly get the realistic insight. Now again, just the closing point for the slide would be, so now a real-time insight means you're making decisions. Now, when you make decisions, that is always based on the current data, not the historical data. There are many tools who are good in historical data, but current data is not their capacity to hold for a longer duration because they don't have that much of capacity. So again, coming to the capacity of Power BI, millions and trillions of data can be handled, but there are best practices. When I say millions and trillions, it is not like I've taken the data, dumped, and Power BI is handling. No, there are some best practices we follow, but yes, a lot of data can be kept into Power BI. So where the current data can be used for decision making and not the historical snapshot. So we have a lot of competitors when we are analyzing these tools, and then I think your reports are ready to give you the actionable or maybe the current market trends. So that is how I would conclude the slide which says transforming data into business value. and where we use agile, we use real-time insights, rather not focusing on traditional snapshot or historical snapshot, but then trying to have the data-driven decision. Now, moving to the next part here, when we say what is Power BI. Now, with the topic Power BI, everybody knows now Power BI comes as a comprehensive suite of software services, whether you say apps or you say connectors, which are all collectively developed by Microsoft. I'm sure everybody knows there are so many Microsoft products we are using. There might be few of them in the meeting who are new to Power BI. That's absolutely okay, but you are not new to Microsoft, because in our day-to-day life, I think we are using a lot of multiple applications of Microsoft. That is Microsoft Word, we have PPT, then we have Microsoft Teams as a communication portal within the company, right? And now we have Microsoft Power BI. So if somebody has a question, like why Power BI is so much in boom, though it's been 10 years, 12 years, which I had the same question, why it is taking such a lot of hype, and the hype is still there. Reason is, which I feel, Power BI is the product launched by Microsoft. And just I mentioned, there are so many tools, even before Power BI, we are using from Microsoft. So it's like a homely company for us. And now when they're making things easy for us, easy for the organization, also for the non-technical client, they don't need to be very strong in understanding your data, your report, they are simplified. So the point is, we are being using Microsoft since many, many decades. And that is the reason when Power BI came up, it was very well welcomed and accepted within 1 or 2 years. So 2014 is the launcher. I think within 1.5 or 2 years, it was captured and people started revolving around Power BI. That was not the case with Tableau, because again, Tableau is now taken up by Salesforce, but then again, you need a good hand holding of your databases, a quite amount of knowledge of Excel. So it is still doing good. But then, yes, you don't need any major coding or any kind of a detail orientation of a second application to go with Power BI. So that is one boon. And then coming to the next point of Power BI, as you can see on the slide, Power BI offers seamless connectivity to a vast variety of data sources. Yes, absolutely right. So other traditional tools can connect to 30, 40, let's say 70 data sources. Same with Tableau and ClickView. But when the point comes for Power BI can connect to 100 plus data sources. So that means you just talk about or you think about a data source, Power BI has the connector. So when we were working in Tableau, we did not have some specific connectors. So then again, we requested the client, can you bring this to a different application or a different source? So that those were the hard works we have done with Tableau. But with Power BI, life is easy. A lot of connectors are readily available for you to pick up. Now, normally, when we say connectors, the major connectors which companies are using are Excel, also known as spreadsheet, that we use regularly into our day-to-day activities. Then the top connectors I'm talking about, which companies are using, Excel, no doubt. Then cloud-based platform. So if I want to name few, they would be Azure, AWS, and Google Cloud. So these three are currently, again, upcoming with the connectors of Power BI, the top connectors. Otherwise, you talk about PDF, you talk about, let's say, Google Sheet, you talk about databases. Everything can be brought and connected to Power BI. But these are the cloud-based platform where the current companies are striving more. So I will just repeat those names. Azure, a cloud-based platform, Google Cloud, and then AWS, that is Amazon Web Services, or let's say Amazon Redshifts we have. So these are those platforms. Now also, many a times this tool is referred as a software as a service application. I'll repeat, software as a service application, just like Salesforce, just like a SharePoint, and like hundreds of other applications which we have. Power BI is now known as a software as a service, where the users can create a dynamic, visually rich, and a very long-term dashboard. You just need to feed the data. The reports will never be static. They will be long-term. But yes, you need to always keep on feeding the data, which again happens automatically. There is no manual task of somebody being physical in sitting in the office and putting the data. No, things can be automated. So we'll talk in the next slide. And yes, if you want to just have, like, once the reports are ready, the visually rich reports are ready to explore, where do this report goes? How can we access it? We can access almost all the BI reports from anywhere. Now coming to Power BI, we can access from your phone, from your tablet, and from your desktop. So well known in terms of India is your desktop or a server, but then we have a lot of marketing and sales happening outside India for your BI tools. In that cases, people prefer a Microsoft app in your phone, and then the phones are used widely to be taken care of Power BI reports, showcasing and getting the business from the client. So basically, this will provide you a single source of truth for your business performance across different organizations. So where you don't need to argue much on which version should I go with Power BI. Companies always prefer the near to latest version. So I think we are in the month of August. So we might be having the version August 2025. Every like 14th or 16th, between like say 14th of September to 17th of September, normally within that period, we have the new version launch. But companies always prefer to go like 3-4 versions older. Reason, they are still the beta versions. So that is how 2025 August is the latest. But yes, in terms of training and in terms of getting yourself ready, we always go for versions, let's say, which is June, July, or max is, I think, before June, May, June, July. August and September we avoid, because again, platform might be a little different in terms of presentation. But companies will go with April, May, and we can go with as a hands-on, as a learning, May, June, July. So yes, now moving on to the architecture part, what we have. Yes, so architecture is like all about understanding how your data can be prepared. Any reporting tool, not only talking about Power BI, any reporting tool have three majors. So as you can see on the screen, data preparation and modeling. Yes, when you get the data from multiple sources, let's say Excel, let's say SQL Server and the Google Sheet, the three top features we always talk about. So whether we present for Power BI or Tableau or ClickView or any traditional tool you want to pick up, these three are the building blocks when you work as an architecture of those 25 reporting tools. The very first is connecting and cleaning the data. Now, when you say connecting, yes, as I just mentioned, you can connect to n number of sources in parallel. Usually, we avoid going beyond 4 to 5 sources because, again, it's a headache to handle. The tool performance may go slow, but yes, at a time, data coming from your databases, data coming from your Excel, let's say from Google Sheet, and sometimes a small script coming from Python. They can be collaborated, and then we can just go for cleaning, understand what is the meaning of every data, what the data want to speak, what volume the data has, because we don't get the data and then put it to reporting. No, a cleaning has to be done, transformation has to be done. But when I say transformation, they should be meaningful transformation, which gives you impact, which is helping you, your organization, to think better. So first, as I mentioned, when you explore the foundation of any reporting tool, that is data preparation and modeling, we always start with connecting and cleaning the data. In Power BI, we have a dedicated Power Query, which is now brought up into your Microsoft Excel also. So yes, if you don't have Power BI, but you still want to use Power Query, so Power Query can be leveraged from your Microsoft Excel. So I'll repeat my words once again. We do have a Power Query in your Power BI, no doubt, which is allowing you to clean the data, transform the data. But somebody who don't have the license of Power BI, nor they have the free version, they can always leverage the beauty of Power Query through Excel. Yes, we have a connector in Excel, which will bring you to Power Query of your Power BI. So that is the very first step. And Power Query is like, I'm sure many of you might have worked with it. If not in Power BI, in Excel, it's a connector which allow you to connect with diverse data sources without requiring any coding expertise. Yes, you do not require any coding expertise to work with Power Query. So if somebody is new to the term Power Query, what is Power Query? It is a place, it is a small page in your Power BI which allow you to work with data sources cleaned without having the dependency on who have given you the data. You can always see, okay, this is my report should look like. This is how my presentation of Power BI should look like. So Power Query is your best friend to connect with data sources, clean without having any kind of a, let's say, coding expertise. Now, this will ensure Power Query, I'm focusing. Power Query will ensure you have a good data quality, consistency from the very beginning. Yes, if you pay attention to your data, quality of the data, at the end, you don't need to have a lot of best practices for your report. Many a times it happens when we have a group of, let's say, new beginners or who are new to the tool, new to the business analytics platform, they simply get the data, do not clean it a lot, and then start writing formulas and presentation. Again, we need to go to a re-approach needs to happen, because if your data is messy, there is no data quality, no consistency from the beginning, the task keeps on rolling up. So these are very important. Start very initial, try to understand every column, what every column speaks, document this column, ask the questions. So after that, once this is done, we will be getting the messy data, inconsistent data into a clean format, which can be a reliable information to present. And finally, we move to next part, that is building relationship. Yes, once the data is clean, once the data is ready, we can move to next part, which says relationship. Now, what do you mean by the term relationship? So I think since we are a part of this webinar, again, we are somewhere having a relationship. So I am trying to be a speaker, just trying to share a bit of knowledge, and you are an audience to me. So we are connected. So we had built up a relationship, a speaker and the audience to listen. So similarly, when you are working with the data modeling, not only in Power BI, any BI tool, you need to build a relationship. So relationship means connecting multiple tables together. Table 1 connected to table 2, table 2 connected to table 3, and 3 connected to 4. So does it mean 1 can be connected to 2, 2 to 3? Can we not break the chain? We can, absolutely. So when you're connecting the tables together, there has to be a common column. Just like if I give an example here. So we have a common column here between you and me, the Greater Insight, right? Who have sponsored and organized this webinar for all of us. So when you want to connect one table to another, there has to be a common column. So in today's session, we have Greater Insight as the connecting factor between the speaker and the audience. So once you have a common column, a common factor, you can go and build the relationship between table. So if the question is, what if we don't have a common column? We don't have a common factor. Obviously, we would not be having and getting the opportunity to be on this webinar. Similarly, if 2 tables or 3 tables don't have a common column, we can never connect them. So that is all about relationship, where we have multiple ways of building the relationship. Let me not go into detail, but yes, there are 3 main types of relationship. I'll just pick up the name: star schema, STAR star, snowflake schema, and then we have galaxy schema. So when you build relationship, there are 3 methods: star schema, snowflake schema, and the galaxy schema. So with either of this, we can start building relationship. And finally, we go to one of the very interesting part of all the reporting tool, and especially for this powerful reporting tool, that is leveraging the data analysis expression. Yes, when we say DAX, it stands for data analytical expression, where you can do a lot of sophisticated calculations, where you can answer a lot of on-the-fly questions. So your DAX is nothing but the way you write the formulas or calculations in Excel. But I think in Excel, nobody goes and says, okay, I am writing a DAX formula. No, they are purely Excel. But what you do in Excel is exactly matchable to what you do in Power BI. So it's always mentioned, good to have the foundation level knowledge of Excel before you move to Power BI. Not necessary, but then it helps you, because when you write formulas in your DAX, it is nothing but you're trying to get all the brush up done from your Excel. So your DAX is data analytical expression, which allows you to create on-the-fly calculations, where you can have a lot of new columns created. And the best part is these calculations are again not static. So when you do any calculation and the new data comes in, the calculation will be automatically updated and the result will be shown. So DAX formulas are not static. Once the June data is done, now July data is coming to your way in the Power BI report, calculations will be re-updated automatically and you can see the data changes. So this is what the beauty of your Power BI architecture we have, the Power BI foundation. It serves multiple purpose. Cleaning without having the need of who have given the data. You can change the inconsistency, something which is not correct. Many things can be done. Finally, you go and build relationship. Now, relationships are not necessary. If there is no connection between tables, you can still create a report. But then to strengthen your report, relationship would be utmost important. And that is how the Power BI report is like architecture and report are more scalable, where the data can grow gradually. So with this, I would move to next slide. So in the next slide, it all talks about when we have already gained this information of Power BI can do this and connect to this, then where exactly we can start with Power BI. So there are basically two main components that work seamlessly together, as you can see on the screen, Power BI Desktop and Power BI Service. Let's focus on Power BI Desktop first. So Power BI Desktop, as the name says, desktop. Yes, the tool is going to be installed on your local system, on your desktop, and service is nothing but a server, which is like on your cloud networks, where once your reports are designed, they are being tested, your quality test, functionality test is done, that reports goes to Power BI service. It's a platform, cloud application. Now coming to your Power BI Desktop, once again, it's a place where your actual magic happens. So when I say magic, it is basically you're trying to get your personal analytical tool, a free version where you can start exploring different data, today data sales, tomorrow marketing, finance. That's how we can connect to multiple data, create the model that is nothing but relationship, and definitely build some stunning visualization. So your desktop is free. Every month you have the free versions. It can be installed locally on your computers, and you can use the maximum performance. So 1 GB per file, 1 GB per file is only accepted when you work with the free or the trial version. But when you go to enterprise, yes, the data capacity is much higher. So this is the place, Power BI Desktop, where your report comes to life and entire organization can use it. And finally, once your testing is done, or even before testing, you can always go to Power BI Service, a place where you go and publish your report within single click. Now, we don't have traditional way of publishing. Yes, within single click, your desktop report can be pushed to Power BI Service. Now, in service, what we can do? So we can enable sharing from your Power BI Service. You can put your live PPT, live data into PPT. Yes, no tool in the current market of BI is giving you the privilege of having a live PPT. Now, when I say live means whatever you're trying to make changes to your Power BI local dashboard, or any changes you want to make to your Power BI server report, the same thing can be checked. Any option, any button, any filter can be used into your Power BI's PPT. Yes, that is what we say, a live PPT. It will be just like you're using a Power BI desktop. The PPT would be live. Anything you click, let's say, what is the total sales of the iPhone today? You will see the data. Okay, 10,000 for this current week, 10 total 10 for today. So that is how we have live PPT only in the tool Power BI. And along with that, a lot of alerters can be set when you go to Power BI services. Now they have like made Power BI Fabric since a couple of months, I would say, not years. They have moved it from Power BI service to Power BI Fabric, where people can share the report, they can collaborate, they can put it to mobile applications, and then you can always have dynamic auto refreshes. This is the challenge with many industries follow, where report is created, but then again automatic refreshes is a problem, where Power BI again wins the race. A lot of refreshes can be done automatically. You being not available in the office or the premises, you just need to set the time and the work can be done. So in that way, the dual approaches we have seen, that is Power BI Desktop and Power BI Service. Can I just request to go back to the slide one step to the previous slide? Yeah, so I would just conclude here. So yes, desktop is free, can be installed locally. And then when you go to service, a lot of data can be handled, automatic refreshes can be taken care. Again, it can be passed on to your mobile application just to have a pocket-friendly Power BI for you. Quick insight, no need to carry laptops. But there are some best practices with that. Mobiles can be friendly. And finally, this dual approach gives the entire Power BI a holistic development happening at the desktop and with the cloud collaboration. So we will always call Power BI approach, which is giving you a dual approach. So desktop for development and cloud for the collaboration. So I think we are fine. Can we please move to the next slide? I think couple of 2-3 more slides, and then I think we can start picking up the Q&A or maybe any questions you would want me to answer. So next slide is all about visualizing insight. So this part mainly happens hands-on, where we connect to data, we give live demo. But then we would today focus more about like how we can see those features of Power BI. Now we know what is Power BI, how data comes into Power BI, what is a bit of Power Query, what is a modeling, a basic picture we have, right? After getting the data, we are cleaning, we are modeling, we are writing formulas. And then comes a large part, that is visualization. So visualization again happens in your Power BI desktop, where a lot of ad hoc reports, operational report, transactional reports can be created, which can be shared. So I would just say Power BI is again known as a drag and drop tool, where you can directly create reports, and then a lot of features can be used, a lot of filtrations can be done, and yes, a realistic data will be highlighted. So that would be for this slide. Can I just request for the next slide? Okay, so here I just added one slide just to give you a brief about where all can we use this reports for. So there are many focus platforms through which we can have. Okay, I think should I go to some questions here? Could we not have some example, real-time examples? Yes, we are planning for that, but I think let's see if you're able to give a demo. We had a plan for that, but I think due to some sharing disability, we are unable to do that. That is how I think Manish is helping me to present those slides. Let's see, by the end of the session, I would be happy and I would be satisfied, like I am able to give a demo. That is what we had the plan. But I think meanwhile, we are done with this 2-3 slides. If I have the rights once again to share, I think we can do it. Oh, I think I can see the sharing right. Okay, yes, perfect, perfect. So, okay, I can understand theories are overloaded. I completely accept that. But I think somehow I have the option to share. We were not having the option to share. That is the reason the slides were given to Manish and he was helping me. And that is one reason I just brought up in the slides also. Like this is the place we are moving from a non-demo to a demo part. So here we wanted to show a demo. I think let's go and have it here. So can somebody again confirm? You can see my screen. Can I have somebody unmuting or a thumbs up so I can go ahead with the presentation? Okay, perfect. Okay, Moni, thank you, thank you. Okay. So I'll quickly go to Power BI. Okay. Now, I think whatever we have seen, I understand coming to this platform, which is sometimes new, people who are not new, they can capture quickly. So demos with a live is very, very important. So I think let's kick it start. So this is the way when you open Power BI, the tool looks like. So this was just added to my taskbar. And when I open it, the Power BI screen opens up. So this is basically known as the landing page of Power BI, where you see multiple connectors. So the question is, where do you have 100 connectors? I'll show you where you have those 100+ connectors, but this is the landing page. Now, wherever your data is coming from, let's say an Excel sheet or maybe OneLake or maybe SQL Server, you can start pulling it from here. What I'll do is I'll not pull up Excel directly. Let me take you to the interface. So after you come to the landing page, let's go to the blank report. So when you go to blank report, you come to the actual interface of Power BI, where it is again divided into multiple sections. We have the top ribbon, we have the adjacent sections, and this is the place where you start creating your report. Now, how do you bring the data inside Power BI? So these are those quick options regularly used to bring the data to your Power BI. So other than that, where are those maximizing sources where we can pull the data? Now, when you go to get data, again, they are not 100+, right? So when you go to get data on the home screen, we have an option more. When you go to get data on the home screen, we have a more option. Now, when you click on more, there are varieties of different connectors readily available for you and me to start working on Power BI. You can see they are again very symmetrically highlighted. Which application you want to bring inside? Do you want to get the data from Azure? Do you want to get the data from Files and XYZ? So you think about a data set, you can bring it. Again, you can bring the data from your Microsoft Outlook as well. Yes. So in this session, which we were already prepared to show you on demo, so I have taken up one online sample data set. So it has 3 tabs. As you can see, it has orders. So I'll not go into very detail what this sheet has. Just a quick information. This is the sheet which has all the details about who have placed the order, from which location, what is the total quantity, what categories they have, right? Which location they belong to, what is the total number of products they have taken, what is the profit we have earned. So this is all about the as good as you are going and placing an order on Amazon, and then the database is collecting your information. So that is orders. Now, when we place orders and if we are unsatisfied, we definitely do not think twice and we go and re-ask the person to get the order picked up from a place. So again, we have some information here where it says some of the orders were returned, and then we don't have reasons here. See, many a times it may happen at client location or maybe into your colleges, university. The data is not up to the mark. You want to present, but the data is not ready. In that case, you can always go and ask for more data. So when I open this site, I had 2-3 questions like, why don't we have the reasons of returning? In case if I get to know the reasons why it was not returned, maybe the quality was not good, the delivery was not on time, there was a size issue, the color issue, right? So if I get to know so few specific columns of customers not being happy, I can work on it. Similarly, the way I saw 1-2 feedback, can we make it more presentable, more of theory is not helping us. So we switched in so that the customers are happy. Similarly, when we get more columns or something which is missing, you're not getting it, we always request to make the data platform better to ask your questions. So this return has only 2 things. These are the status they have returned, and these are those specific IDs who have returned the order. Other than that, we don't have. So I think we can skip and we can move to people. So people is nothing but I think they are not customers. See, we have a column of customers which is coming into orders tab. Customers are like you and me who are placing the order, right? But people is somebody who is taking care of the order. So here Anna is taking care of West region. Chuck is the leader for East region. So these are those higher leaders who are taking care of each zone or maybe their region. So this is what the data set is. Orders, all the information about what we have placed, how many orders have been returned, okay, weekly basis, monthly basis, why was the issue of returning, and then there are some people who are taking care of every region. So 3 tabs we have. Now what I'm doing is, since we are working with the trial version, many times it happens if the file is open, you're not able to log into your Power BI and pull the sheet. So I've closed the sheet and now we can go and pull the sheet of that sample data set into Power BI. So we can type in Excel here, or I can straight away see the Excel option. So what I'll do is, next step, I'll click on connect, and then I think we can go and get the Excel sheet into your Power BI. Okay, so I've picked up the data set, and within few seconds, I think we should be able to see that those 3 tabs, orders, people, and return, are being loaded. So I think it was quick. So how do you understand which are your main tabs? The names of the tabs were not order 1, people 1, and people returns 3. They were proper names, orders. So I'll go with the orders tab, people, and return. Yes, many a times it happened Power BI is not able to capture the data, or it has duplicacy. That is why we directly don't load the data to the application. We try to work on the data, understand the data, which we just did quickly. So now we know this is the main tab where we have, and you can have a quick preview whether the same data has been loaded or not. So we have the data, a quick preview, and then we can directly click on load. You can do either of the one. You can load and then you can transform. So something which I was talking in the demo, Power Query. So Power Query happens here. So Power Query is the option available. But before that, I think let's load the data, and then you can go to the Power Query mode, that is the transform data. So let's load the data. Now, once the data is getting captured into Power BI, you will see within few seconds on the right hand side, there is a data pane. This is getting updated. This is getting ready for you and me, so that Power BI is now connected with your Excel. So everything what Excel has is now getting captured into your Power BI sheet. It takes time depending on how much data you have. I think this is not more than maybe 10,000 around. Okay, so it has been captured, but yes, depending on what data you have, what platform you're using to connect Power BI, the data would be taking that amount of time, and finally you see the data is captured to the data pane. Now I would just quickly go and do a testing here. Do we have the columns from orders coming up? Yes, we have category, we have profit, quantity. Yes, we have all this data, and then we have 2 more data panes coming up, that is people. Okay, and we have return. So if you have seen properly, the people and returns had the proper name. So this was the names of the manager and the zones they are taking care of. Again, returns has two tabs. What is the status of return and what is the order ID who have returned. So it may happen, not because this is a trial version or a enterprise version, this is not captured. No, it keeps on happening with Power BI. The data is captured, just that the header names is not being captured here. So you don't need to reload Power BI. What you simply need to do, you have one best friend in Power BI, that is Transform tab, also known as Power Query. So within the Home tab, you have an option which says Transform tab. So when you click on Transform tab, it happens only in Power BI. A dedicated Transform tab or a Power Query Editor tab gets highlighted. So in Tableau ClickView, you don't have a dedicated tab. You can still do cleaning, but then you don't have a dedicated tab. See, I'm just highlighting on my screen. You have a dedicated tab where you can do a lot of things. Just the way I've mentioned from Excel also, you can open the Power Query Editor. Now again, there are lots of options to make your data look better. You can remove some of the column. I'll show you one. Let's say maybe I don't need a section which is the country, because I know this data is all for United States. We can quickly go and check the filter. It's United States. In that case, you can go and remove. So a lot of options we have here. Okay, you can remove and then you can see whatever we are removing here, it is captured on the right hand side. Applied step. So not going into further detail, but yes, a lot of transformation can be done here. Inconsistency can be removed without having the dependency on who gave you the data. So orders data looks good to us, right? Now we are going to people. In the people, what is happening? I want the column names to be very precise. I want it to be person. I want it to be region. Same thing applies for your returns also. I want return to be the column 1 and order ID to be column 2. So imagine if we have two columns, see, I have the privilege of doing a double click and I can put here order ID, enter. As simple as that, right? But then what if we have multiple columns? In that cases, I will not be doing a manual step of renaming 50 column. When you're renaming, again, this row has to be removed. So in that case, when we have multiple columns which do not have a name captured properly, we have multiple small options, easy to read option, which will ask you to directly promote the headers on the top. Before this, what I've done, I was just doing a double click. I was typing the name of the column. Again, second step, keep doing on for next 30-40 column. Then what about this row? Remove the row. So I'm doing multiple activity, which is not correct as a best practice. So in that case, Power BI, in the Home tab of Power Query, you have the option Transform tab. So in the Transform tab, we have option use first row as the header or use headers as first row. In our case, it goes use first row as the header. The moment I click on it, there are two changes. The headers are being promoted and the same has been captured on your right hand side, which is not happening currently in any BI tool. Even Excel, when you save it, it doesn't show you, okay, what all steps you have taken to save a formula. It will show you the right last result or maybe from where those data is coming. But Power BI has a feature of giving you every step you have followed to come to this output. Same thing goes for your people. I would just be going to the people tab, home, and then we have the option use first row as the header. So without me doing manually, I think the headers are being captured. Applied step is being taking the care of what you're doing so that you don't need to remember. And finally, we can have a quick look. Orders have all the proper name. Okay. People again have the proper name. Same goes for return. Now, finally, when you come out of this tab, you always need to close apply. So in this option, we have close and apply. If you want to stay here, you can apply. If you want to just cut off the changes, you can close. It will not be impacted. It will not be affected. But I want to make it apply and close. So within few seconds, you will observe the people and returns data was captured, just that the column names are being taken care. So this is one way of you working with the Power Query and making your data look meaningful, insightful, and then we go to modeling. So I hope this portion we have covered and most of you are able to understand how you get the data, how you do transformation in the Transform tab, and then finally we'll be going from bottom to top. So these two are latest, which are added to Power BI. So we need more time, more calculations. So we'll directly go to the third, second, and the first portion. This is all about formulas. So we would not like to rush and show you many formulas which will not help. Directly go to modeling. So we have done two steps. We just had a check on the data. We brought the data inside. A simple header promoting steps we have done in the Power Query tab. And now we are going to modeling. Now this is the place where you actually connect your data together. So as I mentioned, not required to always have all the tables connected. No. But when you want to have some data from your orders, some data from your returns. So basically, the idea here is you have placed the order, but now you want to understand how many have returned, what is the return rate, how I can serve my clients faster, better, how I can satisfy them so that my return rate is less. I can reduce my manpower, rather I can put my manpower for like placing and making the entire experience better for the audience. So in that case, when you need the data from orders and the people, you connect them together with this linking key. I mentioned this, if there is no linking key between the table, you cannot connect them, but you can still create the report. But you want to make it more meaningful, more interactive, impactful, good to connect the tables. So when you have a common column, you connect them, which Power BI have done the work for you. Anytime you can right click and remove the connection also. Completely a user's tool. You can just unblock what Power BI is doing, because Power BI is a smarter tool, modern tool. It has done the work for you. But like if you want to remove this, you can go and remove and make your own connection. Similarly, I want to see how many things were returned and when they were returned, was the pickup done, is the customer now satisfied. I want to have orders and the returned data together. So in that case, I can just go and look for order ID and return. So I think if we have a common column, we can connect them. Okay, so we have an order ID in orders and an order ID in return. So how do you do? Drag and drop. I've used the word in the PPT, drag and drop. I hope now that PPT makes sense here. So when you say drag and drop, this is how you pull the column and put it on the top of order ID. If you put it on returns, it will be connected. So you have to be very sure, very mindful. Can you pick and drop the data, and you are just making a relationship. Okay, this is again a very vast concept. Just to help you quickly, we drag and drop and see we make a relationship between the table. This is a star model. We have many more models to go, but this is how you get the data, clean the data, work with the Power Query and make the modeling. After that, the next step is you go to calculations, which we will not do a deep dive because yes, you need to have the base of all the formulas, but yes, just to keep you in a way where all the steps have been covered. So I'll just show you, this is the place where we call the data place where you do DAX, data analytical expressions, formulas can be applied here. You have all those three tables flowing. So whichever data you have coming from any platform will always be flowing here. The data will not go. It is there intact in your Power BI on every tab. Now in the home tab, you have those 4 calculations. Again, they are very deeper. Almost the base of Excel is required here. And that is how the calculations can be done into this particular framework of DAX area. And finally, we go to reporting. Now, this is the last layer before we go and publish. So from here, we can publish to your server, different platforms. And before that, we need to get the report ready. Now, since I have the data inside, I have the relationship builder, I can pick up and show you 1 or 2 charts just to give a small exposure. So other reporting tool may not allow you to create multiple charts on the same page. But with Power BI, yes, you can have multiple charts. Let's say this is my chart number 1. This is my chart number 2. Yes, I can keep on bringing multiple charts. So why am I highlighting this point? Because your Tableau do not allow you to have multiple charts on one single sheet. In Tableau, 1 page, 1 chart. Second page, second chart. And then you combine them. With Power BI, I think this thing has been removed. So let me show you 2-3 charts. These are currently coming as blank because there is no data. Every chart needs a data to get it activated. Now this is, let's say, a chart which is a stack column chart. So every chart have a property, and then when you start pulling up the data, the charts will be ready. So again, a drag and drop feature. I can bring in the region. If I want to see, let's say, region wise sales, I can simply drag and drop. We have more simpler ways to do it, but then just showing you quickly how the charts can be created once the data is on place. This is first chart. Okay, then let's say I want to see something related to your ship mode, the different modes through how your product is reaching at your home, whether it is through, let's say, same day delivery, second day delivery, and so on. So I would like to see what are the profits we are getting from every delivery mode. So I think with Amazon, we have something like Amazon Prime, right? Those who are using, they know They are paying a little extra cost, but they have the delivery on prompt. It's a prioritized delivery. So when somebody want to understand how are my delivery happening, which is the main mode taken care of, yes, we have the different modes, and we can see standard class mode is the very well used. People are okay to get delivery after 3 days, 4 days. That's how we have the data. And finally, we have very good features in Power BI. But I think, yes, this is the card. This is the older card. This is the new card. So older card will allow you to show only one information. But as I said, every month Power BI is growing, and so are we. So here we can show multiple data. So if I want to show the KPIs, KPI stands for key performance indicator, some important metrics of your business. So when you want to see them, so you can bring up multiple together. I want to see the sales, I want to see the profit, and let's say the discount. So though they are not getting ready into this small place, let me just take it to the bottom area just to show you. Yes, so these are the key performance indicators, which tells you, okay, this was the total sales. Maybe this is yearly or monthly. We can put up some filters. This is the profit. This is the total average discount. Yes, you can always go and change the name, change the presentation units. So this is one way. And finally, currently this looks like a static, but it is not static. See, if I click anywhere, so maybe if I click on second class, see, it is interacting. The answer why it is interacting, because we have the data modeling on place. Because of this data modeling, your application is communicating. Wherever you click, you will get the details of West. So West, this is the sales, the profit, discount, and in the West, this is how every ship mode is taking care. When you double click, you're out of that. And I think one last filtration I can show you on the platform. So you know these are not static, they are interactive. So we have some slicers here known as filters or slicers. If you want to give user the interactivity feature, you don't want them to be just showing what you want to show. You want them to interact. So then I can put up a column, let's say maybe subcategory, right? I can bring in the subcategory here, and then yes, you can keep on selecting. The data can be highlighted. Again, if I want to like not utilize such a long place because it is taking a lot of place, you can always go to setting. You can make it like a tile or a drop down. So tile drop down, yes, I think it gives you the broader spectrum to pick it up, which was not the flavor in traditional tool. We were doing it manually, creating one button, active, inactive. It was a lot of effort, but I think now we are in a good position where we have such tools. We just need to start learning and leveraging those. So I think, yes, this is what I can show you a quick demo. And the server we cannot go because again I need to log in and put it to server. But I think yes, server everybody understands. Once the reports are ready, it goes to server, and then I think we make it publicized to the right and the targeted audience. So I think yes, I can just move on to 2-3 more factors of the PPT, and then I think we can move to the next part, that is your Q&A live demo. See, we did have the live demo slide here, and I think this part is done. Just the real analytics here is like, yes, always it is updated. We have interactive explosions. We can always have a lot of AI features in Power BI. And yes, latest upcoming features is like now Power BI is getting, it is not getting, but it is already clubbed with AI. We have more connectors coming into Power BI, and yes, Power BI can still have a lot of improved collaboration with your SharePoint and Microsoft. They already have, but they are on the verge of improvising in the year 2025. So yes, AI featured we have, and then more connectors coming on place, and then collaboration with new Power BI platforms. And admin roles, I think I should not go more into this, but yes, whenever you are working with a report, and you always want to make it secure so that the right audience see those reports, see that information. So your target audience will always monitor who is doing the report, and then how is the data coming inside, so that there is no data leakage. So that would be all governance and administration work, which is done by mostly admin. Sometimes we do it, but then it's taken care by admin. So there is no security leakage. There is no bridging, and then everything works seamlessly. So just keeping you with the few next steps to start your journey with Power BI. Yes, it's a free trial, but then along with the free trial, we can always have a guided training where everything is planned, and then things can be done so that you can leverage these tools. And then finally, always make it a point to join communities where you can share your work, because nowadays skills are important. But until unless you are not showcasing those skills on your global platform, I don't think it helps us a lot. It does, but then social interaction, joining community, showcasing your work, and those portfolios do play an important role. So the steps I leave you with, and I think yes, that is what I had. We and the team of Greater Insights have planned together. So thank you for joining the session. Thank you for being a wonderful audience. I think I'll open this forum for all of you for any questions you want to unmute or you want to put in your chat box. I would be here for a few more minutes, and I think we can plan to answer them up. Yes. Okay, I hope the session was helpful. Yes, your feedback will also help us to come up with such more sessions, making you into a more detailed roadmap. Okay, so I am getting an input where we can have answer some questions. Yes, I was not able to see the screen. So let me just take few minutes before I answer some of the questions here. And then I think you can unmute and also get me up with few more questions. Okay, so okay, I think real time one scenario we have covered. So I think with Manoj Kumar, one factor we have done. Yes, thank you so much for being here. Any more questions which I'm missing, which I'm not seeing in the chat? Yeah, you all can unmute yourself. Okay, any questions, Greater Insight team? Anything which I'm missing? You can just help me with the question. I do not see a lot of things coming up, but yes, one question is there. How many times we can refresh the report if you want to create a live dashboard? Now, when you say live dashboard, dashboards are always live, right? Because data is continuously coming up. Now, when you're working with the free version, definitely refreshes are not available. But when you work with the Pro and the Premium, yes, there are two editions of Power BI, Power BI Pro, Power BI Premium. Depending on which you're using, you can have like 48 times refreshes in a day. For some versions, there are 8 refreshes in a day. So depending on which version you have, the refreshes can be, starting from 8 per day to 48 per day. Okay, my mic is grayed out. Am I not audible? Let me check. Am I not audible? Can we get some samples and to work on using Power BI? Okay, I'll take this question and then maybe more scenarios. But to work with scenarios, I think first you need to have a end-to-end knowledge of how Power BI works. Your question is perfectly fine. Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm audible. Thank you. So I think I would say, yes, you can definitely enhance your data analytics journey, not only with Power BI, Excel, database, Power BI, with working with different data sets, sometimes finance, sometimes marketing. So you get confidence in your own area. But for that to get more data set, I think if you tell me how good you are with Power BI or what knowledge you have, we can think of providing some data sets. Yes, Moni saying appreciate your efforts. Yes, Moni, I think I am just missing on your. Okay, the session was helpful. Thank you so much, Moni. Thank you for being here. We are glad you have a positive feedback for us. Cheat sheet, you can share. Cheat sheet, okay, fine. Okay. So we are noting it down. A few questions which we have here. Cheat sheet, some data sets. Okay. How can we integrate Copilot to Power BI? Can it be free of cost? A very good question, but we do not have free of cost Copilot. It comes with a charges, a reasonable charges, where you can have the connector and you can have seamless connection between Power BI and Copilot. Just to add one more answer to your question, Saurabh, there are many companies who don't allow Copilot integration with Power BI. The reason is every time people tend to use only the AI feature, and then there is less of human logical features coming into the tool. So they avoid. When there is utmost requirement, you want to work with advanced chart, lot of critical data you have, lot of high level financial or marketing calculations you have, people go with Copilot. But yes, it is not free of cost. It comes with the charges where mostly companies bear it, and things can be made more dynamic. But as per the current market, I don't think a lot of Copilot with Power BI is required, at least for this year. Maybe after a year, yes, Copilot with Power BI will be again booming. Okay, I hope sort of the question is answered. Can a two separate data files, into one? I think if I'm getting your question correctly, you want to have two files together in Power BI, can be done. Or if you want to merge two files together into one, That can be done. So Power BI, you just need to tell patterns to Power BI. So basically, if you're bringing 3 Excel files into Power BI, today I have 3. End of the year, I have 30 files. You just load 3 files. Power BI understands the pattern. The next 70, 80 files will be automatically captured by Power BI. Yes, you heard it correct. Power BI can, you show Power BI 2, 3 files. Okay, this is the way you bring it inside. Power BI captures the pattern, right? Now, next, you don't need to bother. You bring in 30, 40 more files, put it to a folder and just click on refresh. Entire data will come into Power BI. But yes, there's a process to do it. For me, it is easy to say because we have done it. But yes, this can be done. Can we share some idea on the licensing part structure? Licensing, if I'm putting a name correctly, Jacob, we did not bring it purposely here because we were not sure how many people would be interested to talk about licenses. But yes, usually we have 2 licenses, Power BI Pro and Power BI Premium. Free is what we use for training purpose and delivering and all this activity, right? For getting the knowledge, is it the right tool for you and for the industry? Free tool. Pro is something like where if you have a team of, let's say, 20 to 30 participants, we go with Pro because it has like monthly cost as $10 per month, which can be taken up for a yearly basis. Also depend from company to company, but $10 per month for Pro. But if you have if you're a large scale company, a lot of developers you have, a lot of teams are evolving, a lot of pipeline activities are coming for Power BI. MNCs will always go for Power BI Premium. So if I'm not wrong, Power BI Premium comes with $20. Right, and then if you go and get a let's say a lot of premium licenses, you get few licenses free also, which need to be maintained quarterly, sometimes monthly or yearly. So 2 licenses to your answer: Pro, Premium. Premium when you have large last amount of audience, and if you have like minimalistic audience, 20, 30, 40, we always go with Pro with a costing of $10 per license and $20 per license for Premium. Same thing for Power Tableau goes is $70 per user per license. So that's one major difference. So is there any limit to refresh in Power BI and Power BI service? Yes, the refreshes have limit depending on again which license you have, Pro or Premium. Okay, if you're using a data source to live, for example, token again depends on if the token is there. No, I am not very sure how much the token will work because again, token have different versions. So just giving you a answer because I want to answer, let me not do that because tokens also vary which token you have and then which version of Power BI you have. Depending on that, the total number of refreshes can be taken care. Okay, can we connect 2 separate files to Power BI? Definitely. Can we connect 2 separate files in Power BI query? Yes, why not? You can still connect. Power BI's query is open for you. A lot of databases come in. Sample on different presentations on data. Okay. Okay, can we modify Power whenever there's a change presentation? We need to create new? No, absolutely not. See, your question has the answer. When you say every time you have a change of data, change of presentation, do you modify Power Query? Absolutely not. If you are doing rework, Power BI will be thrown away from the industry. No, when you want to change the presentation, it happens only at the presentation level because whatever you're doing at the backend is not available to your audience. Power Query, you are working. Data, you are working. Calculation, you are doing. I, being your audience, I can just see the front end. So if presentations are changing, no. Backend calculations may change. The modeling may change. I don't think cleaning would be a process. But no, a presentation can still be taken care without doing a lot of effort. But if presentation needs calculation changes, anything else, then you will go and make the changes at the backend. Okay. Can we use Power BI to convert tables into PDF to Excel using the transformation function? Can we use Power BI to convert tables into PDF to Excel? Tables into PDF. No, I'm not getting clear on this. Tables to PDF can be done to Excel using the transform function. No, I am not sure. The question I'm not getting clear. Maybe if you can break it down, then I think maybe I can answer it up. Okay, yes, Balaji, thank you for being here. Can we connect 2 separate files in Power Query? Yes, you can connect it one by one. You cannot put up together. One file loaded to Power BI through Power Query, and then again second file coming up. How to understand DAX? And yes, this is a major question. I was expecting this. Nobody have raised it, but yes, DAX is all about getting your Excel skills, brushing up, doing hands-on with different data sets. Or maybe if we can help you, you can reach out to Greater Insights. Yes, how we can help you to get your DAX. See, nobody can teach you DAX 100%. It all comes up by the more you learn, the more you practice. Practice is the key. But how do you practice with different data sets? But before that, you need to filter out which data set is good for you to start so that the confidence level do not get down. So I think that thing we can help you to which data sets to pick up and which formulas you start when you pick up with DAX, rather going with advanced, which happens online and then you get, oh, this is not what I wanted, or this is what Power BI is easy, but DAX is difficult. No, a right roadmap and I think right options to start with will help you to gain good amount of DAX knowledge, because 100% DAX is not possible, because if you do finance, you get a project for marketing, formulas changes. Today your marketing, it changes to sales, formulas changes. So that I mean to say foundations of DAX is very important. If you have a foundation knowledge, I think yes, you can always have a good skill on your DAX, not the perfect. Even I don't have, I think we are still learning. It's a lifelong learners we are, right? So I hope Nazeen, Zahir, I've answered your question. Yes, anything else? How much time will it take to learn Power BI? Any resource recommendation? How many time depends on your background also. If your background is completely non-technical, you can still learn, but a little bit of technical people take usually, I think, a good amount of Power BI, not just like you take it, you learn it and you put it. No, portfolios needs to be created. So for non-technical audience, I would say regularly, 1 month. Technical audience, maybe you reduce by like a week. Okay. Can you embed Power App application inside Power BI portal? One second, one second. Okay. Is there any Power Apps in Power Portal? Yes, we can. Is if so, good practice. This is a little off-track question. I mean, it is related to Power BI, no doubt, but we did not take Power Apps today. But yes, Power BI, Power Apps, and data from Power Automate can be straight away brought to your Power BI also. If so, that is a good practice. Depends on, do you really want to have, because there are a lot of challenges. Yes, you have the answer here. It has performance issues with your Power BI because you're getting a heavy tool inside. So, but if it is utmost required, yes, it can be taken care. Only this amount of data should be there. But for a longer term, we would try to avoid getting Power Apps, almost everything. A small amount of portion can be shown. But then again, with best practices, this can be done. Any AI integration for DAX creation or cleaning? AI integration, yes, with Copilot. Yes, with Copilot, yes, things are getting more easy. Now you have DAX Studio, so you don't need to write big formulas. So yes, AI integrations can be done for your DAX. But with Copilot, and you need licenses. Free licenses will not give you the flavor of AI and DAX together. Power BI program crashing possibility is low while working on Power BI, or it will auto save while preparing. Crashing possibility. No, depends on how much of data you have accommodated to Power BI, into Power BI, then the crashing would happen. That is why if we are a developer to Power BI, we always start with best practice. Every step we see best practices. If my modeling is big, it will impact me. So if you go with best practices, it may happen. Sometimes we forgot best practices. We are just doing abruptly. There can be a crashing possibility. And we always, I mean, I would not say always it may crash. Sometimes it may not. But here I can give you a tip. Always start making the multiple versions of Power BI. If the versions are heavier, zip it and keep it to your folder or to your drive so that you don't, your Power BI is crashing and then you lose your data. So most of the time it is crashing. Yes, you may lose the data which is currently unsaved. So try habit and keep making versions. I mean, that is what we followed. I mean, in any reporting tool, versionize, and then it is easy for you. Okay, yesterday the client told me do this 10 things, and today is telling me no, I don't need those things. You can get your previous dashboard. Why to do the rework? So that way, yes, versioning control can help you. Okay, so thank you for the session. Yes, Usma, thank you for being here. Can Power BI integrate with the existing data source like SharePoint and SQL Server in the real time? SharePoint is like they're still working on it. You do not have a lot of features from SharePoint. You can still connect to SharePoint, but if you're trying to have a seamless connection with SharePoint, that is what is upcoming in Power BI. So I would not say 100% ready, but yes, small SharePoint integration, small reporting can be done. But if you have a data which is trying to have an end-to-end SharePoint with a good flexibility, no, I think Power BI still is getting ready. But yes, it can be done in upcoming months. So SQL Server, perfect. SQL Server is the perfect tool. Any databases you talk about, Redshift, Oracle, Postgres, databases are meant to bring in the data. So SQL Server is a big hit, but SharePoint are not perfectly ready to be pulled. But a reasonable amount of work can be done. Okay, so yes, thank you, Suresh, for being here. Can we apply Power Query transformation steps in one table to another table directly, considering both the tables have same structure and column with different data set? Power transformation from one to table. No, we have to repeat that because every table brings in different grain of data. So that feature we don't have currently. Considering both the table have same structure or a column. No. See, the answer is overall to this question is no. But if you want to still have the same structure, you can club those two tables together, which is known as the derived table concept in Power BI. So the first question which you have here, directly it is not possible, but you still, if you want to do it, you can combine those two tables because you want to save your efforts of redoing the same things, the same structure is there. So you can have a derived table. So you take those column from first table, put it to second. Now you have the combined table and then you keep on doing your, let's say, cleaning or transformation. That way it may help, but direct option is not there. You can derive the data. Okay, thank you for the session. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Can we create some trend analysis and forecasting in Power BI with the help of Power BI? Yes, exactly. Power BI is meant to give you a lot of forecasting, much higher in terms of Tableau also. Yes, you can leverage forecasting, but not with the trial tool. If you're trying to work with trial and trying to get forecasting, you may not have very up to the mark output. Again, with Pro Premium, see, no tool will give you accurate forecasting. Up to the mark, you can say. But to get the actual flavor of forecasting, yes, premium enterprise versions will be the right way of doing it. Do we have any sessions where we can learn Power BI in more detail with demo? I think yes, the team members from Data Insight can help you with this, Sachin. No, not Sachin, I think. Yes, Prashant, do we have more sessions where we can learn Power BI in detail with demo? I think, yes, we can plan into that. Your feedbacks and your suggestions, we can surely take it ahead. So, yes, so I think this is coming from Prashant. Prashant, yes, for now while exporting. So I think most of you are working on Power BI, looking at the questions which we have. I think one session we can have where we can answer most of them. So I think there I am okay to answer, but I think again, not sure what all things can be taken up. But overall, I will just take one or two more questions and then let me see how we go ahead. Can we have another session of Copilot in Power BI? Again, the Greater Insight team can help us on this. Yes, we can have. Thank you so much, Vijay Lakshmi, for being here. Any disadvantages if we have more transform steps and apply in Power BI? No. It will not impact your performance because Power Query is the place where you transform the data, right? It will not impact. But then see, if there are 10 steps, if you're deleting the step number 6 and 7, it will impact the 8. See, I'll I think I've connected back. I've lost the network. Yes, we can still have any certificate to master Power BI. Yes, a lot of certifications are there. Not to master, but a lot of hands-on can be done. Okay, yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. The feedbacks always motivate us to do better and come up with such sessions with greater insights. Thank you so much for your feedbacks and thank you for being here. I think I lost the audio. Okay, have I lost the audio? I hope I'm audible. Yes, Veena, you have raised your hand. I think the question before we close the session, right? Okay, yes, thank you. Yes, somebody want to, I can see the raised hand. Uh, okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Paul Francis. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for all the positive feedbacks. Yes, anybody from Greater Insights side, you will want to conclude, or we have any message to be passed on to the audience?
Veena, go ahead. You can ask your question.
Yeah.
You are
Veena?
unmuted.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sanju. Thank you, Maker. Advait Maker. Thank you so much. Yes, yes. Good to know that it was an insightful session, informative. Thank you so much for being here on a Friday afternoon, being in the session. Thank you once again. Veena, we are waiting for you. If you have any questions, or I think we can take a step ahead to close the session for the day. I think maybe Manish is unable to unmute herself.
Vadri, go ahead.
Yes, Badri Prasad from Allianz, I can see. Yes, yes, please go ahead. You can unmute yourself. Yes, Anu, thank you so much for the feedback. Yes.
Hello, Ruchika. Am I audible now?
Hello. Yeah, you're audible, audible. Thank you so much for being a part of the session.
Okay, thank you. I did had a question.
Okay.
It's like while exporting the Power BI into the PDF, so there is a
Okay.
long running page, okay, which is not being
Mm-hmm.
fetched into the PDF export. So do
Mm-hmm.
you have any idea like how that can be done so that we can get all the data under the filter?
Under the filter, yes, for that we'll have to see the report, because maybe sometimes the exporting is working, the right channel we are not following of getting it. So until unless the report is not seen, I would not like to just haphazardly answer the question. It can be done. Many a times when you are exporting, things happen. Some pages are not exported, some are still exported. So I trying to do this from the server, right? You're doing from server, right? Power BI server.
Yeah.
No, no, no. So what is happening? How many pages you have in the report?
It's around many, like
Oh,
quite a long
many,
one.
many. How many? How
Yeah.
many?
It's quite long. So like
It's
there
quite
are
long.
many
Okay.
pages in
So
it. Yeah.
I think you have the answer there. Can you break that? I mean, you publish it to server, break that dashboard into maybe, let's say 20. 20 is not the correct number. Usually, if you see on forums, 35 exportation of the slides can be done very seamlessly. If it is
Okay.
beyond that, I would suggest break your dashboard into two structure. Let the model be same, calculation be same. Publish, break it and publish it. I think it may help. This could be one answer. But then until unless we don't see the report, it gets difficult to get to the way. Sometimes it is just that a small mistake which we are doing it, right? And then we do everything all around. But a simple step may also help us. But I think if they are
Okay.
very long, try breaking it into two parts.
Okay. Yeah. Thank
But
you.
as I said, yes. But as I said, yes.
Yeah, I'll try
Going
this
forward,
out first and yeah, okay.
yeah,
Thank you
you
so
try it
much.
out. Yes. If it is not, then maybe until unless we don't say, I think let me not just answer it for the sake of answering and then giving the hopes. But yeah, it can be done. Yes, yes. These tools are like
Okay.
things can be done. Just that maybe sometimes we have deadlines of delivery and we're into stress. Sometimes it's like we don't know the right path. Right. So I think more research and more getting into will help. But surely there's an answer.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, yes, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, yes, thank you.
Badri, you have a question?
Yeah, it was me only. The name is Tanushri. It's just that you are
Okay,
calling me
okay,
out from my middle name.
I see.
okay,
All right.
okay. No worries,
Okay.
no
Yeah.
worries.
So if there are no other question, we can wrap up the session now. So thank you everybody for joining. Thank you for your valuable time. If you want to, if you want Ruchika to deliver a further session on this topic, please reach out to your learning and development team, and we can connect and plan a training program for you guys. So thank you so much. Have a nice weekend.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you, Manish, for giving this opportunity, and have a happy weekend. Keep learning and keep exploring. Thank you, everyone.